This is an encounter and dialogue with a shadow element. So wherever you are, make sure that you feel safe or safe enough and comfortable where you can have the amount of privacy that you need. And once you're there, close your eyes and begin to tune into your breath. Notice the state of your breath. Is it shallow or deeper right now? And do what you can to gently start to slow and deepen your breath. Noticing the feeling of breathing. Now bring into your imagination a triggering event that happened to you that you think about, whether it's from your past or from your present. This process will help you very deeply and subconsciously heal and integrate whatever shadow element is present in that experience. In your imagination, feeling yourself, for example, across from that triggering person. Or in that difficult situation. If the situation is quite triggering, if it is a severe trauma, make sure to have compassion for yourself and know that it might not be the right time to go there right now. So when you arrive at whatever circumstance or relationship you want to explore, start to breathe into whatever feeling you notice in you in this place. And as you breathe, amplify that feeling, asking it to take up more space so we can see it clearly. And once you've breathed into it as much as feels natural, so that you see it clearly, give it a name. What is that feeling? Or perhaps it's a mixture of feelings. And as you name it, feel it all over your body, as much as feels safe enough. And now we're going to invite this feeling signature, either this single feeling you've named or the mixture of feelings, to become a figure in your imagination. It could show up however it intuitively and immediately does, no matter how bizarre. It could be a kind of person or a humanoid kind of individual, an animal, a blob with a face, whatever comes up. And now imagine and feel yourself in your mind's eye as a sovereign queen or king, or perhaps as your higher self, and feel yourself standing very tall, invincible, across from this figure. Feel your height and your power, and also your deep compassion, as if you were the most benevolent monarch. And that this feeling is this figure here in front of you is simply a member of the kingdom that you rule. There's no need to be afraid of it. And you know beyond doubt that it can't hurt you or anybody else. And as this divine royal figure, hear yourself silently ask this feeling signature creature, "You are in my kingdom and you deserve to be here. Now what do you have to say?" And simply hear what it says, or perhaps it does something. Again, whatever you notice immediately and intuitively is perfect. It is authentic to your subconscious. And then when it is done saying that, simply say, "What else?" Very neutrally. And you might even pause this recording and continue asking it and saying, "What else?" If it feels like this figure has a lot it needs to say. And the key to this experience is to completely allow whatever the figure has to say or do. You might notice that this figure is becoming active, that it's doing something. Perhaps it's getting violent. If so, your only job is to, as much as possible, allow it, and then allow more. Allowing this figure to get as violent as it could possibly ever want to get. Knowing that it's not actually hurting anyone or anything. Releasing any tension or resistance you might have to fully allowing whatever this figure needs to do, and feeling yourself as the divine and royal being, standing very powerful and tall, unharmed. No matter what. Then simply say, what else? Completely opening to this figure, completely accepting. And once the figure feels like it has completed what it needs to say and do for now, look at it with such compassion and say, I accept you. You belong to this kingdom. You belong with me. I accept you. You belong to this kingdom. You belong with me. And as you say this as many times as feels needed, look at this figure and see if it changes. It doesn't have to, but notice if it does. And then ask the figure, what do you need? With grace and compassion, waiting for whatever it says or demonstrates. And then imagine yourself as this all-powerful, sovereign being providing for that need. And then ask, what else do you need? And see yourself likewise providing that need, and keep this process going as long as it feels necessary. Now, looking again at the figure, notice if it's changed, if it's transformed, or if it's simply presenting in a different way without attachment to it being so. And you can, of course, pause this recording and do any of the previous steps as much as you intuitively feel would help this figure to feel seen, accepted, supported by you. Knowing that in doing so, you've freed part of yourself from exile, welcomed it home into your own heart, loved yourself, and become more whole. So whenever this process feels complete, feel gratitude in your heart for this figure, for these feelings, and even if you feel like it, for the situation that triggered you, to bring this shadow element to your awareness so it could be healed. And in that spirit of loving gratitude, begin again to notice your body right here in the room. Noticing the breath and compassionately allowing the scene in your imagination to fade as you open your eyes and come back right here.